Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in today, Thursday, August 28th, DK Oldies live stream. I am your host, Joey, doing things a little bit different today. Going to be walking you through what it's like for a day in the life of the social media team, in particular, what my day is like. Going to be doing a giveaway coming up, just as I normally do. For my Facebook viewers, all you have to do to be entered in the giveaway is share the live stream, comment down in the chat that you shared, just like Wayne did. Gets you entered in the giveaway. Giveaway's coming up soon. If you're over on YouTube and you want to get involved, hop over to Facebook and share the stream, comment that you shared. 2 easy steps, get you involved in the giveaway. Going to be giving away some free money here. A few people are going to be winning free games. Okay. I also want to be taking some questions. So if you guys have any questions during this, while I'm explaining what my day's like, I'll do my best to answer. But definitely at the end, as soon as I get finished explaining, I'll definitely be taking some questions. What is going on, everybody? Good to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, Grover? Hi, Sarah. What's up, Pete? Thank you, everybody, for sharing. What's up, Christopher? Okay, going to be holding this cat. Somebody, fan crocheted this little cat for me. Just going to have something in my hand. So let's jump into it. My morning starts off. Wake up, first thing I do, take the dogs out. I have 2 dogs. One looks like a pug, one looks like a chihuahua. They're mixes. But first thing I do is take them out, feed them. They cannot wait for their morning food. If they aren't already bugging me, it's a miracle that day. Then after I shower, I get ready and give them their goodbye biscuit. Their day will not be okay if they don't get their goodbye biscuit. And then I'm off on my way to work. I normally stop on the way in at Dunkin' Donuts to pick up a coffee. And really, it's a bad habit. I should work towards stopping that. They have good coffee machines here. We've got Keurig machines with different coffee cups. I'm just a creature of habit, I find. And I'm just used to stopping at Dunkin' Donuts. I leave in enough time to do it. So anyway, one of these days I'll cut the habit. Stop at Dunkin' Donuts, and then I'm off on my commute to work. My ride is, I guess, 20 minutes, I'd say, something like that, for me to get into work. And what's really cool is I kind of come up through the country here in, outside Philadelphia on my way to work. And like, I go through, let me think, 1, 2, 3 stoplights. No, there's no traffic. It's a beautiful ride through the countryside, the Amish farms, cows, and the only traffic I have to deal with is horse and buggies. And that's the only thing that can slow me down. If there's a day I have to pass a few more horse and buggies on a normal day, that can slow me down. But I don't take it for granted. I like the ride that I've got. It gives me enough time to kind of get ready for work. I don't know what I do with like a 3-minute commute. I guess that would be cool. But like, I don't know, this gives me enough time to kind of get ready, get my mind ready for the day. Normally roll into work about 10 minutes early, sometimes a little bit earlier. It all depends on how many horse and buggies I have to pass. And then first thing I do when I get inside in the morning, I boot up my computer, grab one of the phones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, phones that we use here in the social media team for filming, responding to comments, all that kind of stuff. So I grab that, and the first thing I do is sort of review how the stuff from the previous day went. I check what did well, what we should be working on more of, what didn't do well, how we could maybe improve that. Then scroll through and start looking for orders to film. You guys know who tune in every day. I film people's orders, and I try to get to as many as I can. I make sure that I make enough that at least one is going out every day. That's including the weekends that we're off. So that means I'm doubling up on days during the week. The way I do it, and I do it a little bit different every time, but I basically hit every single social media platform that we're on, from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, and Twitter. I check that as well, and scroll through and look for people's order comments. People are requesting to have their order filmed. I'll check it out. I try to keep it as even and as random as possible. Like if I just did an order for a Wii system just the day before, maybe I won't pick that for the next day. I like to have a good blend of all kinds of different stuff. Somebody who's ordering for their dad, somebody who's for their son for their birthday, especially something with a little bit of a story to it can kind of hook me. I don't know. It gives me a little bit of something that I know I can talk about during the video. So then once I've selected the orders that I'm going to ship that day, I message them over to our shipping team, and they get the labels printed out for me. I come over there in the morning. They've got the 2 labels sitting here on my shipping table. I'm sitting right next to it now. Then I work on the email. I send out an email every single day to all of our subscribers, and there's about 200,000 subscribers. So it's like almost like 250,000 emails. So when I type up an email, right now I've been working with the with the owner, with the boss Drew with it. I'll shoot him over the email, send him a message of what I'm proposing on sending. Sometimes he'll, suggest an updated version or a different topic or something. A lot of times he's just like, yep, go with that. And then, so I write it up and I double check everything. I make sure the link is right, that I'm spelling things properly, because when I hit send, 250,000 people are about to get that email. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. I remember in the very beginning when I was doing emails, obviously the email list was a lot smaller back in the day, but it was still a lot of people. And so yeah, I like triple check the emails that I send out. Then after I've handled the email for the morning, I review the videos that we're going to be posting that day. Right now I've got a real good team, who I can kind of trust that the stuff they're making is on brand and will look right and this and that. So I don't always have to check every single video that goes up, but Benny, who's generally the one who films with me, I'm sure you've seen him in stuff, he and I go back and forth on what the shipping video is going to look like. Show me a couple edits, I might suggest a change here and there, but generally he's real good at it. I'm just, yep, Benny, let's go with it. Emails in general are nerve-wracking. Yes, they can be. Believe me, when 250,000 people are about to get it, what if I type the coupon code wrong for a big sale that's coming up? And everybody, nightmare. So at that point, that kind of finishes off my morning, and I jump to starting to work on my first shipping video. I come over, pick out one of the orders they've selected for me, or that I asked them to print out for me, and then Benny comes over with me. We spend the first 10 or 15 minutes brainstorming some ideas. What are some neat effects we could do? We're always trying to make these different. I've got to be coming up on 2,000 shipping videos. And still to this day, we're finding ways to kind of do it in a different style. The one that went up today is a good example. It's one that in 2,000 times, I've never done it like this. I walked in reverse, and then we reverse the footage so it looks like I'm walking forwards. But what's cool then is you see everybody in the background who they look like they're moving in reverse. Mind-blowing, I know. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I think it turned out pretty good. I definitely walk weird. But what can I say? It's hard to walk backwards so that when it's played forwards, it looks like you're walking normal. Try it. Okay? Try it. Anyway, after Benny and I finished the first shipping video, after we brainstormed some ideas, we filmed the whole thing, we grab all the items, pack it up, choose a gift. By that point, it's basically time for lunch. I got a few spots here I can hit for lunch. We're right next door to a pizza place that's great. Good pizza, cheesesteak, so I eat there sometimes. There's a real good deli nearby that shaves their own lunch meat. Turkey hoagie is one of my go-tos. Sonic and the Corn Dogs, yes, I still am hitting that occasionally. There's McDonald's, there's all kinds of options here. The Wawa, there's a Wawa across the street. If you're not familiar with that, I think that's an East Coast thing. It's a gas station that also sells food. They make food there. It's pretty cool. Anyway, come back. Sometimes I'll eat lunch back at my table, sometimes out in the car. Sometimes I'll go into there's a Popeye's chicken. Sometimes I'll go in there and eat. Anyway, after that, after I'm finished with lunch, come back and I'm working on the second shipping video. Same thing, same process goes on. Benny and I brainstorm for a bit and then get to filming it. Generally can knock that right out, and that leaves me time in the afternoon to do some other stuff, like film a game with Lexi. Maybe we're over at the Wii wall looking for games. This morning I was working on something with Jesse. We were running around over here taking different pictures of stuff. Q&As, sit downs, all the other types of videos that we do. And then I also help the team with other stuff along the way. I've been here about 10 years now, so I just can help advise on what product do you think I should show off, or how do you think I should film this, or the editing. I leave that sort of stuff to Benny. I don't get too involved in that. But yeah, as for I advise kind of with my team all throughout the day. There's always questions going on. Then by the time I finished filming, that gives me time to head back to the other side where I can review the stuff that's gone up so far that day, make sure everything looks right. Did we get the right title in the post? And respond to a few comments if I have time. And then by that point, I'm coming over here for the live stream. And on a day like today, I'd be setting up the tripod, getting my lights out in front of me, and starting my sit down with how I go through my day. And Step one is I take the dogs out. Anyway, so that's pretty much what a day is like. Sounds like a great job to have. Thank you, Scott. It is, and I don't take it for granted. It is a lot of fun, and it's just I get to be around all this cool stuff. We've got a great team, and I get to make fun videos every day that I'm hoping people hoping people enjoy. Where from are you? What's going on, Fazal? I'm from right here in Pennsylvania. I was born in a hospital in Philadelphia and spent my whole life here in Chester County area of Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful area. I really like living here. Feel free to shoot some questions, guys. What's going on? Joel from Seattle. Good to see you. Dream job for sure. Craig, it is. It's great. And don't believe me, it's not that it doesn't have its stresses. I'm coming up to a weekend here. Here's a good example. We've got our big Labor Day sale that I'm going to be launching tomorrow morning. If you want to get access to it, sign up for our email notifications. I'm going to be sending out an email tomorrow morning letting people know that the sale is starting. So I've got the entire Labor Day sale to set up, and that's going to be running through Monday. So while the shop will be open, like Saturday and whatnot, we'll be off on Monday. So that means I've got to get content tomorrow for Saturday, Sunday, and an extra day beyond a normal weekend on Monday, plus set up the Labor Day sale, plus handle the shipping. So, I mean, it's stressful like other jobs can be, but it's great. It is great. I do love it. What's going on? Josh from the UK, huh? Well, DK Oldies have a second store. Vincent, we've thought about it. I would say there's always a chance. We had looked at possibly opening up like a Western branch to get orders out to the West Coast even faster. What happened was we were able to negotiate with the shipping company, because that's the thing, like when you're a big company, not a big, but when you send out a lot of orders like we do, the shipping companies, like they send representatives out. Right now we ship out with USPS and FedEx. That means we don't ship with UPS. So UPS oftentimes will send a representative out to, talk with the owner and say, hey, look, do you want to ship with UPS? And what's cool is a lot of times they'll bring pizza. They'll bring pizza for the shops, kind of. But we were able, that's it, we were able to negotiate an even faster shipping service that was going to get the packages just as fast to the West Coast as if it was going to be with the previous shipping service with the, if we had a West Coast division. From the UK, what's up, Josh? Silk Song, I've heard of it, Jonas. I don't know too much about it. Coming out next Thursday? I'll keep my eye open. Have I been to the Big Apple, Ivan? I have been, let me think, once or twice before. Once was a school trip back in high school, I guess, and then later in college I went on another trip as well. Had a great time. What was so cool is like places are open later there, and this was back when I was younger, and it was awesome to be staying out late and at 3 o'clock be able to go to this neat restaurant and eat something. It was cool. Lara Croft or Nathan Drake? Oh man. I guess I'm going to say Nathan Drake, Sarah. I love the Tomb Raider games, but I think Uncharted sort of took over the Tomb Raider games for me, I guess. They're real similar. We do Black Friday sales, absolutely. Yes, Roy, for sure. But that's the other thing. Things wind up selling out. This is another good example of the Labor Day sale that I'm going to be launching tomorrow morning. A lot of stuff that we've got this really cool PSP that's got Darth Vader on the back. The 3DS system, the Galaxy one with that really cool Galaxy cover. I don't think people realize that so much of the stuff we only have one of. So when I launch the sale, immediately people are receiving the emails and come to the website to buy. And if it's something we only have one of, so if you start to wait too close to the holidays, there's a chance you might miss it. So I always recommend jumping in early to it. Sounds like UPS is trying to bribe Drew with pizza. Yes, Joseph, that's how they do it. Yeah, that's cool. And Michael, we did sell that Earthbound game. That's right. That was during the rare game sale. I forget. It was like 15% off all the rare games. So somebody who must have had their eye on that copy of Earthbound thought, absolutely, now is the time to do it. Saved 15% on it. Showed it off. Had my white gloves on. It was a beautiful copy. The label was pristine. Yeah, that guy's now the proud owner of Earthbound for sure. When viewers send you stars, do you get to keep that money for yourself? No, Michael. Nope, that goes back to the company, and I'm fine with that. I mean, what's cool is the company does stuff for us with it too. I assume some of this money goes towards the stuff they do with us. Like for tomorrow, Rita Water Ice Day. I'm a big fan of water ice, so Scott is going to go out and pick up a bunch of different tubs, and at some point in the afternoon, like after we all have lunch, we'll all go out and do water ice in a raffle. We get all kinds of stuff in here that they raffle off, so that should be pretty cool too. Consider a whatnot division. So that's like the online selling, right, where people are selling things live on the phone. We have considered it. I forget there were complications with it. The stuff has to be on a whatnot store. I can't remember exactly, but that is a neat idea, Michael. I would like to consider that because I love doing the live streams. I have no problem talking about stuff during a live. I think that'd be really cool. What was my first game? Good question, Timothy. That's going back. I would say probably when I got the NES, it was Mario Bros. 1. It's the original Super Mario Bros. That came with it. It's not the first game I ever played, though. My grandfather had an Atari, and Combat, the two tanks, is it two tanks? And that's, when I saw that, I thought, holy smokes, I couldn't get over it, so then started bugging my parents to eventually get me an NES, and that was really cool. Any recommendations on a scratched PS2 desk? Cedric, if you like, okay, so outside of a microfiber cloth, something like this, real soft and fine, gently wiping it with that. If there's actual scratches in it, they're the problem. You're going to need something like the resurfacing machines that we have down there. You can send it in to us. Excuse me. We'll run it through the resurfacing machine for 1 or 2 times, however many times we feel it needs, and then test it to make sure it works. Now, the thing is, it's not a guaranteed fix. It can fix light scratches, but if you're looking at deep grooves or something, sometimes people will send us a picture of a cracked disc and say, can you fix this? No, there's no fixing that. But light scratches, that sort of stuff can be saved. From Costa Rica, what's going on, Douglas? Good to see you. Ivan, can we get a sneak peek on the Labor Day sale? Unfortunately, I am sworn to secrecy, but I will tell you this. It is not on anything real specific, so you don't have to worry. Like, I don't really have a Super Nintendo, so if it's just Super Nintendo systems, it's big, it's wide. It's going to be real wide. First game ever beat or seen the ending of, Craig, it was Super Mario Bros. 3. My sister and I would play it together. We would wake up early, because like back in the day, parents didn't know what to make of video games. It was all new, and so like my parents were pretty chill with it, but like no, they, I don't know. So anyway, on like Saturdays and on the weekend mornings, my sister and I would wake up early, like way before my parents, and creep downstairs and turn on the NES and play. And so yeah, somehow we wound up beating Mario Bros. 3, and I was so excited. Yeah, it was the first game ever beat. It was awesome. What about you, Craig? Do you remember the first one you ever beat? Another order, Ivan. Yes, looking forward to it. If you feel like having it filmed, and that's the thing. Like I see so many people. Like I get more requests than I could ever film in a day. Even if my whole team was doing it, we come in every day to dozens and dozens. So, occasionally I'll see somebody saying, "Oh man, how come you didn't film my order?" And I wish I could. I wish I could. I try and film as many as I can. That light's dying on me. Yeah. No, she's dead. Your dad played Duck Hunt. I had the Duck Hunt gun too, and that worked back on those old tube-style televisions. I had that as well. What did you never own that you wanted so bad? A Genesis. I had a Super Nintendo, or the Nintendo and Super Nintendo. My cousins had a Genesis. I always wanted that. And then a dirt bike. I had friends who had a dirt bike, and I always wanted one of those, and I was riding around on my pedal bike. Thoughts on modding the Game Boy Color to have a backlit screen? That's cool, Lisa. It's not something our customers are really asking for. Our customers want the original thing and the way it came out. So if there just wouldn't make sense for us to do it, nobody would be buying them. But if you do want a system with a backlit screen, there are other Game Boys. GBASP, the Nintendo DS, the DS Lite, all that sort of stuff does have backlit screens. I remember using the old worm light. You'd plug in the side and bend over top of your screen on my original Game Boy. Simpsons Hit and Run. I love that on the GameCube. All the Simpsons games are good. There's PS2. I think there's two, Road Rage and Hit and Run. They sell real well. I think they're really cool. How's it feel being the face of DKOldies? Does it cause you stress? Ivan, at this point now that I've been doing it so long, not really. Stressful in that I want to make sure I'm presenting the company in the best light, but you know, again, I've been doing this so long, I don't know, it just kind of comes like second nature. Being on the cover of other people's videos that they make, some YouTuber wants to make a video on us, and that's the thing, like the game, you know, the hardcore gamers are, you know, and I see people talking about prices a lot, and that's another thing that, like, two things I want to say about that. Number one, let me start with this first one, because I was just going to do something separate about this. Counterfeit and fake games. You know, I see people all the time in comments, and they're kids, you know, you can tell that they're kids by their profile, but they have no problem saying, like, how, you know, how come you don't just download all those ROMs for free? And, you know, they have no problem just admitting that they're stealing this stuff. But anyway, the fakes, the counterfeits that are out there with Pokemon games, I just did a video on that earlier. The problem with the counterfeits is that they wind up driving up the price of the real stuff, because nobody wants the fakes. So then everybody is searching for the real thing, and that influx of people causes the demand to go up and causes the price to go up. And just after all this time, yes, maybe 20 years ago, you could have gotten, you know, some of these games for a few bucks or something. That's just not the case anymore. But, you know, it's the same thing with a loaf of bread. But this is different because these games aren't being made anymore. Every year, there's fewer and fewer. The PlayStation systems need more and more work. It's just like anything, you know, like old antique cars worth a lot more than when they first came out. So, you know, a lot of the gamers are just upset to see that, and I get it. The stuff that they want to buy, the stuff they want to play, they see it getting more expensive, and they're just angry about it. So when when they do a video and they pick my face as the thumbnail, what can you do? No, it doesn't bother me anymore. What's up, Grover? Noticed sometimes you guys are a few dollars higher than going through something like eBay. I'd rather pay a little extra for the 1-year guarantee. So that's the other thing. Like, buying from random people on eBay, most people don't want to do that. My mom would never buy something from some guy named Bob who's selling something on eBay. Now, you know, no problem to people who are selling their own stuff like that, but like, that's not what a normal one of our average customers is looking for. They want a reputable company, 20 years of business, a 1-year guarantee. You know, you actually get to see me. I show you around our you know, our office here all the time. I show you our processes. That sort of reliability, that sort of guarantee you get. I see people mention eBay all the time, and or like a Facebook where you have to meet up with somebody in the parking lot of the Walmart. Yeah, a few bucks extra, make sure it's actually, I mean, who knows what is theirs refurbished? Have they cleaned that? Is that PlayStation disc going to be scratched? Is that going to work when you get it home? Because if it doesn't, good luck trying to call them. And anyway, you guys get it. You guys get it. Pokemon did have a boom in price, Ivan, I know. It kind of surprises me too, and it's just the way it is. And another thing, when people were like, "Yo, I just picked up that Pokemon game for like $7," well, then you just ripped off whoever you bought it from. You know, like, in order to give the people that you're buying it off of a decent price for it, then you've got to be able to make that money back. So that's another thing. When I see people talking about getting some crazy deal on a game, they're just being happy they ripped off the original buyer. What's up, Josh? Nope, no box today. Taking a break from it today. David, I appreciate it. Joe, you're doing an awesome job. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you much. All of my collections are real. Nice, Timothy. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, some I see, and again, it's kids. It's kids. But, you know, being like, what's wrong with buying a counterfeit cartridge? Imagine having a friend come over and being like, you got a fake Rolex watch. It's called a Zolex. You got a Zolex. And imagine all your friends. You're like, yo, guys, come check out my Zolex watch. Nobody's going to be impressed with that at all. Plus, it's probably not going to keep time very well. Same thing with all these counterfeits. They're made by like shady cartels in China. Don't work, don't save, can damage your system. And yeah, you'll get it at half the price, but why? Why? Fellow left-hander, what's going on, Daryl? Good to see you. Thank you. We do pay a lot more for collections. That's the thing. And that's why when I show you guys the collections that come in every day, averaging like 100 collections that come in every day, that's why they come to our shop and not others, is because we pay people good for them. Do I think the small Bob-ombs should be a playable character in Mario Kart? Yeah, sure, Christopher, why not? No, I'm not the founder of DKOldies, but I have been here on our social media team for quite a few years. Tomba on the PlayStation. Shadow, I get asked about that one a lot. I see it from time to time, I do. Annette, do you support modding? I guess, Annette, it depends on what it's for. So again, most of the time when it's kids that are asking that, it's because they want to be able to hack their system and download all the games for free. Illegal, probably not going to work. All the problems, nobody wants to come over and see your library being a bunch of digital games on your screen. So I guess it depends. Favorite console? To Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, I would say. I'm sorry, comments are just scrolling so fast. How much do you pay? Half or 30%? Norg. So that depends. I'm not in the buying department, but it all depends. We list, that's the thing, we're transparent about it. We list the prices we're buying for right on our website. And the stuff that we need the most, sometimes people will complain, like they're trying to sell, I don't know, something that we just don't sell for, a Dreamcast or a big Xbox 360, I don't know, whatever it happens to be. It's just not something that we really sell. And we're like, we don't really need that, but, you know, if you really want to get rid of it, you know, here's what we could offer. And then they get upset, like, how can you believe they only offered me this much for a Commodore? A Commodore, we don't even want that. That doesn't sell. So, you know, if it's a low offer, it's because it's something that we don't really want to buy. You know, look, if you're desperate to get rid of it, okay, we'll make an offer of something on it. But the stuff that we need are Nintendo products: Mario 64, GoldenEye, Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. Do you have NES systems? Do you have a Wii? You want to make some good money with a Wii and Wii Sports and Mario on the Wii, Mario Kart? That's all the stuff that we need and we pay highest for. Thoughts on the angry video game nerd? Kate, I've seen him. He's okay, I guess. I don't know. Why so angry all the time? That's his whole shtick, is like ranting about things. I don't know. It's not really my thing. I don't do a ton of ranting. Does anyone ever come to shop inside your store? Army? No. So in years past, when we were back in a much smaller, you know, like it was the company was a lot smaller, we were in a different location. Occasionally we would have 1 or 2 locals that would stop in. But once we came to this bigger spot and have all the product out here, excuse me, we're just not set up like a retail store inside. There's stuff to trip over. The products are all in boxes on the shelves. We're not really set up like that, but who knows? Someday down the road, could be in our future. We've toyed with ideas. What if what if people could come in and actually play the games and try stuff? I don't know. We've had all kinds of ideas. Any games you can play on the hardest difficulty setting? One I've been doing a bunch right now. Now this is online multiplayer, but I've been doing Battlefield, and the new Battlefield beta came out. So obviously excited about that, but not really in the middle of any single player stuff right now. What was I good at back in the day? Nothing springing immediately to mind. I'll try and think of something though. From Saudi Arabia, huge respect from you guys. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you. You guys sell physical because of game preservation, which is important. And that is true. Now, and what do you think about the Switch 2 not actually having the full game on the cartridge? I don't like the direction things are headed like that. I like actually being able to hold Mario Bros. 3 in my hand and know that I've got it. All the people downloading stuff off Steam or the PlayStation Marketplace, even with movies, you know, on your streaming services, all that is yours at the whim of the company that is loaning it to you. Nobody can take Mario Bros. 3 away. When you've got that in your hand, you can pop it into your system and that'll be yours forever. And that's the case, you know, with nearly everything that we sell. And now that we're coming up on like the Switch 2, where yeah, the games aren't even going to be on the cartridges. And that's why it's important to kind of keep this stuff in circulation. Super Nintendo, N64 games, NES, the systems, they're not making them anymore. There's only a limited amount. So keeping them restored and letting the next generation enjoy them for sure. Okay, let's do giveaway. Let's do giveaway. Okay, fun chat. Give me 1 second. Okay, I am holding in my hand the DKOldies prize wheel, and because I can't see in reverse here, bear with me for a moment while I unclip the phone, switch it around. There's the light that died on me. You can see it's still trying to twinkle. Gee whiz. Okay, get ready. Somebody's about to win. While I've been streaming 6 names picked at random and placed upon the prize wheel, I'm going to give the wheel a spin, and we'll see who today's winner is. $20. $20 is what we're playing for today, folks. I'm going to hit the spin button and see who today's winner is. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Bingo, David. Look at that confetti, David. Look at it. David Parry, congratulations. You are today's winner. Okay, good work. David, all you have to do is have an account on our website, DKOldies.com. Message us here on Facebook with the email address you use to log into the website. I will get you hooked up with your store credit, leaving you with a parting glance at the cleaning department. Kim's over there working on something. Heather, the manager, is down there. I can just make her out. Austin. Oh, even Jordan's over there today. Okay, everybody. This has been fun. It was neat getting to walk you through a day. It's one of the questions I get asked most often. Well, you know, what is it like? What is your job like? It sounds so cool. So I'm glad I was able to walk you through a normal day of mine. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'll be ready for some more questions coming up in tomorrow's live stream. And don't forget, Labor Day sales getting launched tomorrow. Pay attention to your email. You're going to want to jump on this early.